Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a June homeschool and life recap and reflection and a July homeschool and life plans and goals video. It has been an amazing month and I cannot believe we're in July already. I say that every single month, but it's so true. June was so full and so much was going on, and it was like busy, but good busy. But I'm also excited to have a slower July. So let me look back at what we had on the wish list for June and what we actually got to. On my wish list for June, which is pretty messy, I had ancient civilizations that we would be continuing that unit study from Gather on Homeschool. We are still about halfway through. We did a handful of lessons in the month of June, but we were traveling so much, which I'll be talking with you about, that we did not do a ton of lessons, and I knew that would probably happen, but I am still happy with our progress. We're also reading Boy of the Pyramids, which I just happen to have next to me. This was a book I got from The Good and the Beautiful. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it goes along so well with our Ancient Civilizations unit from Gather Around, and I'm just doing this as a read aloud with my older two boys. My 8-year-old hears it sometimes when she's around, but it is more for my older two boys, and we've enjoyed this. We're almost done with it. We have like one chapter left in here. So if they don't have it from The Good and the Beautiful, definitely try to search it online or something. If I find it, I will link it down in the description box below, but we're really enjoying this. I also wrote Survive Off the Land, and if you've been around and you remember, this is becoming kind of a running joke now. We have still not made any progress in Survive Off the Land, not because we don't love it, but just because I haven't prioritized it. We are still going to do it, but I will keep you posted, maybe in July, maybe not. The Answers book for teens was high on my list. I do not have that on hand right now, but I've shared that before. It is such an amazing book for going about topics of apologetics, creation versus evolution, the existence of God, Christianity versus atheism, and secular humanism, all of the things. I feel like it is a must read for preteens and teens, either with them or independently. I recommend with them just because then you can discuss, and it's been really enjoyable. I've been doing that with my 13 and 16-year-olds, and they really, really like it. You can actually find that on my Christian book storefront, which I will link down in the description box below. I had plant flowers down on my list as well. We did do that. So we planted some zinnias in our regular raised garden bed. I was gonna try to do a separate flower garden, and then things just got away from me. And so I just planted a row of them. They're looking really good and they have buds on them, but no flowers yet. So I'll keep you guys posted. But gardening is another thing that in between our trips, we really focused on for the month of June. Our garden is flourishing, which is really exciting. We have snap peas back there, cucumbers and tomatoes. We have broccoli and cauliflower, kale, lettuce, lots of herbs. We have dill, oregano, basil, lavender's growing back there. I'm trying to think what else. Cilantro. We have radishes and beets. There's probably some other things. We've planted peppers. I think we have a couple sprouting up, but not a lot. And I think we planted eggplant, but I haven't seen that pop up yet. So the gardening is going great. We've been enjoying lots of salads from our garden, which is exciting. And so gardening is something that we focused on during the month of June and will continue to throughout summer and moving into fall. I did jot down some things that we have done just so that I didn't forget during this video. These were not things that were on the list, but things that we did do. And then I want to share with you all the different trips that we took, and I can share with you some examples of the learning resources that we used to coincide with those trips as part of our sort of unschooling, travel schooling that we're doing. So my youngest two, since I've talked a lot about my older boys so far and a little bit about my 8-year-old, my 4 and my 5-year-olds are loving the preschool from The Good and the Beautiful. I started this curriculum with them. I shared that with you guys, and we've just been doing it a couple times a week. And they really, really love it. They really enjoy it. It's been a great kind of like review and getting closer to mastery for a lot of things, and definitely mastery for some things for my 5-year-old, and it's more exposure and introductory for my 4-year-old. So it's been working out really well. I've done it some days with them together and some days separately, and I like it both ways. And if they end up needing to go at a different pace, we'll do that as well. But so far, so good. They're also really loving, especially my 5-year-old, ABC See Hear Do. I will try to remember to link that down in the description box, but I believe it's in my Amazon storefront. I have to see if Christian Book has it too, but he really loves that. It's very like kinesthetic. So for example, when you're practicing P, you look at the P and there's a picture of a porcupine going like this, and you go P, P for P. So I really feel like that's helped him a lot with letter sounds. And so we use that as well. And he really enjoys it and will bring me that book and want to do it with me. So that's been a really good thing that he's been liking. My 8-year-old is really enjoying this series from The Good and the Beautiful called Little Glass Lake. It's a 4-book series, and this one is highlighting ducks. But then it also comes with these animal guides. So the girl in the story will look at an animal guide about something that she's interested in or experiencing. Like she'll see these ducks on the lake and then she'll look them up in her guide, and then they look them up in their guide, which I just feel like is such a cool way to connect with the book, but also like more learning and science. And I just love the way that they did this. I think it's really unique and really cool. And she's been doing this some nights where she's reading it to me and my younger 2 kids as like our nighttime read aloud, which has been really cool because typically it's been me doing the read alouds at bedtime, but we like started doing this and really, really enjoy it. It's really built her confidence, and then reading aloud really helps their fluency. And it also helps you to kind of like assess where they are in their reading as well. This has also been really cool because we have been visiting a lot of lakes. So when I first gave this to her, we were at a lake, and it was something that I brought for her to read while we were there. So it was really cool because we were at a lake when she started it, and we've been to a bunch of lakes since then, and it's just been really cool to see her enjoy that series. My 13-year-old is still plugging away on his core curriculum. I am going to be sharing very soon my curriculum picks for him for the upcoming school year, so stay tuned for that. Same for my upcoming 4th grader. I'll be sharing her stuff first, I think, just to keep things in order because I've shared preschool and kindergarten curriculum picks. What other stuff have we been taking with us? Okay, I'll tell you about, I think that's everything. Oh, my 16-year-old is still plugging away at his economics for everybody, which is a biblically based economics curriculum. He's also still doing his language arts from The Good and the Beautiful, and he's been working and volunteering at church and doing read alouds with us and unit studies with us, and just continuing to pursue his interests and hobbies. And so that's been really great. Our first trip of June was to the Vermont Lake House. This was a beautiful lake house on Lake St. Catherine in Vermont. It is a beautiful, clean lake. It was a beautiful lake house to be in. There was so much space for us, which was really nice. We felt like we can spread out and enjoy it. And we did paddle boarding and kayaking and canoeing. We had fires. And so some of the things I brought for them were like a summer bucket list unit for the love of homeschooling. That was really fun. So that was more for like my younger 3. And then for my older boys, I just brought like the books that they were currently reading and then some of the curriculum that we were doing. So for example, for our Ancient Civilizations curriculum, we read the lesson together as a group. If you're familiar with Gather Round Homeschool and how their curriculum is, you have your family style lesson, and then they have their leveled student notebooks where they go in and they have a variety of pages to complete that go along with the lesson, but also touch on different subjects. So I brought that with us for them, as well as their independent reading books and their independent devotions that they're doing, because while I didn't bring their core curriculums with us, they were still touching on a variety of subjects in their student level notebooks for their ancient civilizations, if that makes sense. So Gather Round Homeschool markets themselves as being an all-in-one curriculum other than math. So technically, you can just do Gather Round Homeschool and add on math, and you're covering all of your subjects. We don't do it often enough for me to feel like it's enough. We could, but I also love the other things that we use, so we just don't choose to use it that way. But that's just an example of what I brought for them. And then there was also a huge library of books, a huge bookshelf of books that we were able to read from for both my younger kids and my older kids, and for myself as well. So we actually enjoyed a lot of the books there. And that's another thing I really love about travel schooling, is that you can learn things that you never expected to learn. So that was a really great trip. I will link that place down in the description box below if you're interested in checking it out. The second place that we visited in the month of June was Wildwood, New Jersey. So it was on the Jersey Shore, and we stayed at this beautiful micro resort called the Hen Houses. There are 6 themed homes, and not like cheesy themes, like really stylish, modern themes, but while they were designed in a modern way, they were themed surrounding the history and culture of Wildwood, which I found so interesting. And so we learned a lot about the area just through that alone. And that was really exciting, because I love that about traveling, is that we're learning about different places and different cultures and different states and different towns and different regions. And it was really built into our stay at the Hen Houses. It was absolutely gorgeous. It is in the heart of Wildwood, but feels separate, which was really cool. There was a saltwater swimming pool that we were able to enjoy. They had like ping pong and cornhole. There was a beautiful front porch. It's about 3.5 blocks from the beach, and then they had like bikes that you could take out and use, which my kids really loved. So it was an amazing stay. Highly recommend if you're looking for a place to stay on the Jersey Shore. It was absolutely beautiful. I will link them down in the description box as well. For that trip, I brought the Seashells Learning Pack from For the Love of Homeschooling. So both the Bucket List Learning Pack and the Seashells Learning Pack were part of the 12 Weeks of Summer available from For the Love of Homeschooling. And you can actually still get those either like as a group and get them all, or you can just select the ones that you want. But we really enjoyed both of those. The Seashell Learning Pack was perfect for going to the ocean, because we were able to feel connected to the things that we were learning about. We gathered seashells, we tried to categorize them. Books that we brought along with us were books about seashells on the seashore. So that was really cool as well. The next place that we stayed was Water Lily Lake House. And this was a lake house in upstate New York in the Hudson Valley region, and very close to the Catskills. So it's beautiful. It's on a private lake community. So a very quiet, clean, beautiful lake. And the house is exquisite because the owner is an interior designer. So it is stunning inside, and then it has a beautiful outdoor space. They had 2 different docks, a fire pit area, kayaks and paddle boards that you can use, and fishing poles and games. It was the perfect family summer getaway that was very private and relaxing, but also fun. So I'll link them down in the description box below as well. So when we went to Water Lily Lake House, I knew that it had lots of water lilies because I saw the pictures, but also obviously because of the name. There were lots of water lilies, and what was really exciting is that in my slow down guide, there is a water lily lesson. And so if you're unfamiliar with my slow down guide, it is a book companion notebooking guide that goes along with the book Slow Down, 50 Mindful Moments in Nature. And it's for really all ages, but there are things in there all the way from like coloring pages for your little ones, through phonics, all the way up through, I would say, 12, 13, maybe even a little bit older. There's something in there for all ages. And so I brought the slow down guide and did the water lily lesson with my 4, 5, and 8-year-olds. My 4 and 5-year-olds did some work with the letter W and spelling water lily, and they did some notebooking with the notebooking pages that are in my guide. And we also did some painting as kind of like a way to paint like Monet. We looked at the print of one of the water lily paintings by him that is in my guide, and it was really exciting because I got to talk to them about how Monet painted while looking at the water lilies, just like we were going to do. And so they had a lot of fun doing that. And also, because we were at another lake, my daughter enjoyed reading her Little Glass Lake book, and it was a really great time. We were able to observe so many dragonflies and birds. It was like such a beautiful place to be like immersed in nature. It was a homeschooler's dream for sure. We stayed in 5 different places in the month of June. It was our busiest travel month to date. And I just feel so thankful to get to work with so many amazing properties and experience them and capture them and share them it's been a huge blessing to our family. So for the last two, they were both owned by the same owners. We stayed at Hemlock Hill Lodge and Birch Hill Cabin, both in the southern Adirondacks, very close to Lake George and Schroon Lake and the adorable town of Bolton Landing. Hemlock Hill Lodge is a larger cabin that sleeps 12. It was such a beautiful place. They had a tree house for the kids to play in, a fire table out on the deck. The deck had a grill and a dining area and a sitting area. They also have a fire pit out back. They had a game room that had air hockey and foosball and shuffleboard and a variety of other lawn games that you could take out and play. There was an adorable swing that hung under the deck, which my kids watched the rain from when it rained one day. We did a hike nearby that was really beautiful. And there's even a creek on the property. We were able to take this short little trail and for them to play in the creek. It was really a beautiful time. And so for that, I brought my Adirondack alphabet curriculum. We had actually gone through this maybe 2 years ago. And so I thought it was perfect timing to go through it again because we surely don't remember everything that we learned. And it was like my 4 and 5-year-olds were on the next level of learning about letters and words that start with the letter and then connecting that with the Adirondacks. So that was really cool. And then my 8-year-old was really, really interested in learning about the Adirondacks some more as well. It was cool because we learned about the eastern newt, and then they saw an eastern newt out front of the property one morning when they were just outside exploring and playing, and they were so excited about it. So that was a really cool experience for them as well. I definitely thought afterwards that I should have also brought my slow down guide because there were so many things in there that connect with the Adirondacks as well, just naturally because it's a 6 million acre preserve in 1/5 of New York State. And so it's a beautiful place to visit. There's so much to learn about, so much to experience. We went paddle boarding on Lake George, which is the cleanest lake in the country. I knew it was a clean lake, but Travel and Leisure just came out and named it the cleanest lake in the country, which is really, really cool. And Hemlock Hill Lodge is 15 minutes away from it. So we went to the Bolton Landing side, which is less touristy and less busy, and we went to the Veterans Memorial Park beach. There's a playground there and a little beach, and we paddle boarded, and then we went into the little town and had pizza, and it was just a really cute place. The other place that we went with them was Birch Hill Cabin, and this one is a little bit smaller but still sleeps 6 to 8 people. This is only 25 minutes away from Lake George, 25 minutes away from Schroon Lake. So when we were staying there, since we had already done Lake George, Bolton Landing, we went to Schroon Lake, which is also a beautiful beach and has a playground and a boat launch. And we also went to Loon Lake while we were staying at Birch Hill Cabin, and we did some paddle boarding there and enjoyed the little beach there as well. Birch Hill Cabin was a really cute and cozy place. It's 10 minutes from Gore Mountain for skiing, so my kids were already asking if we could go back during the skiing season. So I will link both of those cabins down in the description box below as well. And that was all of our travel for the month of June. It was a lot. We had a lot of fun. We're ready for the next couple of weeks to be slower, more being at home. And then we have 2 trips coming up for the month of July. Only one of them is a collaboration with an Airbnb that is going to be in the Poconos, and we're excited about that. But then the other one is a family trip with some of our extended family, and so that is going to be really nice as well, and that will be in the Adirondacks again. As far as curriculum plans and goals, we will be continuing with Ancient Civilizations. We may do Survive Off the Land. All of my kids will just continue with their independent work. We are year-round homeschoolers, if you haven't caught on to that by now. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but we will just continue on with our curriculum and move on to the next ones when we're ready. We will continue our read-alouds together. And so while we are year-round homeschoolers, we do flow with the seasons. So because it's nice out, because we want to be outside more and adventuring more, we don't spend as much time on our family style lessons and maybe as much time on our independent work, but we're still continuing, we're still making progress as opposed to just stopping completely. And I really prefer it that way. I really like staying in the rhythm, even if the rhythm ebbs and flows, instead of having this strict schedule and then it just completely stops and then starts back up again. It seems to work really well for us, especially because we have a relaxed schedule throughout the whole year, throughout the days, throughout our weeks. Doing it year round makes the most sense for us. We will just continue on with those things. There's not really anything new, I don't think, that will start It'd be nice to finish up ancient civilizations, and then I think we want to move on to Middle Ages and or Vikings from Gather Round Homeschool. I don't know if we'll jump into it right away or we'll wait until fall. We'll kind of have to see how July and August are shaking out. But I also wanted to share with you our favorite adventure snacks, because while we're traveling, our favorite thing to have with us are our Scout bars. I've shared these quite a few times on Instagram, but I'm not sure I've shared them over here. These are organic snack bars that have very few ingredients, which is really important to me, and we always keep these on hand. We don't eat these in the house because we would probably eat them up in a day or two because they love them so much. These are our travel snacks. So if we're going on a field trip, if we're traveling, we bring these with us because they're easy to throw in a pocket, a backpack, and the ingredient list is so small, which I appreciate. There is little to no added sugar in these, and they're not crummy. So like, if you see the consistency, so this is like the consistency of them. They're date-based, so that's where like your sweetness comes from as opposed to added sugar. So as you can see, like they're not gonna make a crummy mess in your car. They're small batch, made in the US, and they have a variety of different flavors. They'll come out with new flavors seasonally and things like that, like Mango Madness I haven't seen since last summer. And that came back out, and they're having a pretty good 4th of July sale. So I always have a code for 20% off, but you can get even more off during the 4th of July sale. So I'm gonna link Scout down below. And they also have cookies and just came out with a new cookie flavor. So I just have to share this with you guys. So my favorite cookie flavor so far is the double chocolate chip, but it keeps selling out. My second favorite has been peanut butter. And then my kids really love the oatmeal chocolate chip. So I got the peanut butter and the oatmeal chocolate chip, but they also just came out with a brand new flavor, vanilla macaroon. I was excited about it and I just had to try it, and oh my goodness, this is my new favorite. This or the double chocolate, I don't know, but like, this is so good. This might be even better than the double chocolate. So delicious. So same thing, low amounts of ingredients, not a lot of sugar. So a little bit more sugar than the bars because those are like a snack bar. These are more of a treat. But like when it comes to cookies, this is a healthy cookie. 7 grams of total sugar per serving, but only 4 of those are added sugars. And so here's the ingredient list for these, which I feel like is pretty good for a cookie that is not homemade. These are also great on the go for a treat because when we are on the go and they see all these different treats and things like that, I am not spending tons of money on food and snacks and treats while we're out. We might do like one special thing, like go get ice cream or go get a pizza, but that's about it. So I like to have stuff like that on hand as kind of like a diversion, like, hey, no, we're not gonna do that, but guess what I have? And while I'm drinking it, I will share with you, I don't think I've shared about it on here in a while, is the Happy Juice from Amare. I've shared about it quite a bit over on Instagram, but I think it's been a long time since I shared over here. So Happy Juice is a 3-part powerhouse supplement that is for a variety of things. So mood, energy, motivation, metabolism, and gut health. So I started using it almost a year ago for the gut health purpose of it. Because gut health is something that I've been trying to focus on for over a year now. And it has prebiotics, probiotics, phytobiotics. So it's for gut health, but also to strengthen the gut-brain axis. So the gut being related to your mental health, how you experience stress and anxiety. And so it lowers your cortisol, which is basically like your stress hormone, and gets you out of that feeling of like fight or flight or like everything's overwhelming in an emergency. So I have had such good results with it. I wanted to share it with you guys here since I just remembered because I got thirsty. I drink it every single day, and I will link it down in the description box below with the $10 off code so that you can try it out. There is a 90-day money-back guarantee. You can start to see results in as little as 7 days, but they say that you should give it the full 90 days to really get the full results. So I noticed within a week, I noticed in a few weeks, a month, and definitely at the 90-day mark, how much better I feel. I stopped for a couple of months because my husband was going through a job change and I was really trying to be strict with our budget and necessities. And I missed it so much and noticed the difference so much that as soon as I was able, I was like, I need to get Happy Juice again. So I wanted to share that. Let me know what plans you have for July. Let me know how your June was. I would love to hear about it. Let me know if you are doing anything similar, or if you've done anything similar. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will try to remember to link everything down in the description box below. Stay tuned this week because I have curriculum picks coming up and some other things. And definitely follow me over on Instagram if you are not already following me over there. I share a ton of different stuff over there as well. If you have commented and I have not commented back, I'm going to try to catch up on YouTube comments very soon because I love to chat with you guys over here. YouTube is just harder for me to remember to do than Instagram for whatever reason. So you can always DM me over there if I don't get to your questions over here. Anyways, if you are not already subscribed, I would love if you would stick around. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Until next time, stay rooted. And in case you missed it, I'm going to be speaking in the Brave 2024 Virtual Homeschool Conference August 1st through 3rd. Right now, you can get early bird pricing for $37. No matter where you are in your homeschooling journey, there's going to be something for you in this conference. So click the link in the description box below to learn more and to grab your ticket.